Welcome to the 30th anniversary celebration for the Middle East Children's Alliance, a tribute to its co-founder, Barbara Lubin. Since 1988, MECA has delivered more than $25 million in humanitarian aid. Charlie was your inspiration, fighting for Charlie.
I first met Barbara Lubin my first term as mayor. She walked in my office unannounced. She was there on behalf of Charlie because Ozzy's Pharmacy was about to be bought by somebody else, and she wanted to save it because everybody that came into that pharmacy treated Charlie with love. We put an initiative on the ballot that allowed small business rent control, that salvaged that. And that was the beginning. So I just want to say, it's with all our love that we honor and remember Barbara Lubin tonight as one of the greatest fighters for world rights and rights for the Palestinian people that this world and this country has ever known.
And declare June 4th, 2018 as Barbara Lubin Day in the city of Berkeley.
The Honorable Barbara Lee, 13th Congressional District of California. Certificate of Special Congressional Recognition presented to Barbara Lubin. You never thought you'd get here, did you?
You know, it's the first time I've ever been up here and addressing anything having to do with the city or Barbara or anyone where I have not said anything that's not nice.
Just because you look like you and I look like me, it doesn't mean we can't be friends. You're not my enemy. Hold everybody. Hold that. Big finish. Up, up, big finish. Hold everybody up.
When our people, whoever they are, whatever they're doing, if it is not right and it is not well with your soul, leave. They will always be more beautiful than you, the people you are killing. You think it is hatred that you feel, but it is really envy. You imagine if you destroy them, we will forget how tall they stood, how level their gaze, how straight their backs, how even the littlest ones stood their little ground. The side of the children is the side to be on. We are not like those people being broken over there, they tell each other. And for this moment, they are right. They are not. But what does this mean? What does this mean for broken humanity? I have seen the world wake up before. When it has woken up before, it has moved.
Do what? Let the light from the lighthouse shine on me. Oh, you sound mighty good.
At the beginning, in an attempt by the government to silence the pro-Palestinian voice in the US, arrested us, 7 Palestinian and a Kenyan woman, and charged us with terrorism. There were few who did not get scared. And on the top of that list, guess who was? Barbara Lubin.
I ain't afraid of your Yahweh. I ain't afraid of your Allah. I ain't afraid of your Jesus. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. And I
talked to her about what she was doing. I talked to her about what she intended on doing in the future, and immediately told her there was nothing to worry about, not a thing. And it was the government who better be worried if it tried to take on this powerhouse.
what we have, this is what we are meant to hold. And we can hold it with as much dignity as possible. and then pass it on to the next generation, which, by the way, looks like they're going to hold it pretty damn well. May the children, may they see more clearly, and may the elders be more wise. May the
Going to a place where they don't want you to go is a very revolutionary act. Going there and seeing what people were about and learning their fears, their loves, everything about their lives and how they were being so cruelly oppressed and so overtly and obviously oppressed. So it's important to note, these delegations were really very radical, very important.
But MECA has not only delivered an incredible amount of material support, it has also led the way in the development of a broader and deeper consciousness regarding justice in Palestine. I think of that as a kind of feminist leadership that is now being explored in the era of Black Lives Matter. We also express our gratitude to the Middle East Children's Alliance for always reminding us of our responsibility to speak back to the State of Israel and to the United States of America, its most important ally.
Understanding that the struggle for Palestine, the struggle against Zionism, is not a Palestinian struggle. It's a struggle for all of us struggling for liberation. And we did that understanding that we can only struggle for Palestine while making those direct connections to other oppressed communities, making the direct connections between Zionism, policing, and white supremacy, and centralizing the leadership of Arabs and Palestinians. And MECA does that time and time again.
Why do we fight this hard if we may never see a free homeland in our lifetime? And he said, it's simple. I do it because I want one day for my children to know that they're Palestinian and their children to know they're Palestinian, and that we went down in history as the longest and most dynamic fight for the liberation of our lands.
It was the year 2000, and we were in the Hesh refugee camp. That was the first time I met Barbara. The same day or the next day, the Israelis invaded Bethlehem and imposed curfew. So we were all locked in, and we were worried what's going to happen if the Israelis decide to invade the guest house. Nighttime came. We were about to go to sleep, only to wake up to Barbara having dragged her mattress and put it next to the door, so that if the Israelis actually came in, she was the first one to meet them and stop them from entering. So Jihad and I look at each other and we're like, this woman is crazy. Does she not know what's going to happen?
I'm supposed to say something about Barbara, but I don't know what I should say that much. I met Barbara in 1989. I know her until now. That's it. I love you. We work together, we fight, we disagree, but we do the work. This is the most important. Howard is the one in the front, but for us in MECA and for all these years, Howard is part of the work we do all the time.
You know, you guys have seen all the posters and, you know, all the things that are out there, and Josh has done all that stuff, and, you know, he's an amazing artist, but that's really, Ensemble, only half of what he's done for us. We'll say, you know, that's good enough, and Josh will get that look on his face, and, you know, it's not good enough for Josh. He's the one who's always pushing us to make things better.
For anybody that knows my mother or knows anything about the Middle East Children's Alliance, you know that while she is extraordinary, it's not just her, that there's a whole team behind her, but especially Howard, who has done so much not only to help her become who she is, but also help our entire family. So thanks to Howard especially as well. As we celebrate Barbara Lubin today, what we're really celebrating is the connection between different social justice struggles. And for my mother, it started long before the founding of the Middle East Children's Alliance. And one place we might start at the beginning is in her struggle to protect my brother Charlie and to provide opportunities for him. But fundamentally, what my mother recognized was that the care and protection she gives to her own child has to extend to everybody's child.
Couldn't have done it without you, Howard. Wouldn't have done it at all. the person who really has helped make every one of our big events so successful, yeah, of course, is Penny Rosenwasser. Penny has, I remember the day that she came into the Middle East Children's Alliance. I'd put a sign up above her desk, and I think it said something like, "Welcome and get to work." This is Nancy. Nancy not only does the work of MECA, but Nancy also does the work of Alliance Graphics. And she has held us together, and I'm so grateful to her. And we have one other person who worked with us here in Berkeley, but who got married and moved to Palestine. And her name is Josie, and she just had her second child, a beautiful little girl named Layla. And she works with us. She's on the phone all the time with Ziad. And I'm very grateful to know these people and to work with them. Although I won't be the executive director of MECA any longer, I feel very good about turning it over and walking away from that with people like Ziad and Nancy and Josie and Deborah. And I'll still be there. I'll still be screaming and making trouble, but I won't be in that position and have that responsibility, actually. But I'm still going to be going after every single one of you for money. And don't you forget it. And I want to thank you for coming tonight. I want to thank all my beautiful grandchildren for being here. Especially want to thank Charlie Lubin. So I'm going to... What? Oh, he loves me. Oy. So thanks, folks.
We gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, MECA.